On April 25, 2024, a tragic accident on Alaska's Mount Johnson claimed the life of an experienced climber and left their partner gravely injured. The incident, which occurred on the mountain's iconic escalator route, is a stark reminder of the unforgiving nature of alpine climbing. This tragedy unfolded deep within Denali National Park, a land of immense beauty and towering dangers. Spanning 6 million acres, it is home to North America's tallest peak, Denali, and countless other mountains that challenge climbers from around the world. Among these peaks is Mount Johnson, an imposing granite spire rising to 8,400 feet. While smaller than Denali, Mount Johnson's sheer faces and remote location make it a formidable challenge. It is beloved by climbers for its pristine alpine routes and technical difficulty. One of Mount Johnson's most iconic routes is the Escalator, a steep 3,000-foot ascent of ice, rock, and mixed terrain. The route earned its name for its relentless unbroken climb, resembling an invisible staircase carved into the mountain's icy face. Climbers who attempt it must navigate narrow gullies, vertical ice sections, and unpredictable rock features, all while managing extreme exposure and unforgiving weather. Reaching Mount Johnson is a journey in itself. Climbers begin in Talkeetna, a small Alaskan town often referred to as the gateway to Denali National Park. From here, flights in ski-equipped planes transport climbers deep into the Alaska Range. After landing on a remote glacier, climbers must trek across miles of ice and snow to reach the base of Mount Johnson. Hauling heavy packs and dragging sleds loaded with gear, the journey to the mountain can take days. Conditions are harsh, with sub-zero temperatures and unpredictable weather. Once they reach the mountain, climbers establish a base camp. Here, they spend time acclimating, preparing their gear, and studying the route. For Robbie and Melissa, this was a critical step before attempting the challenging escalator route. The climbing team included 52-year-old Robbie Mekas from Keene Valley, New York, and 30-year-old Melissa Orzichowski from California. Robbie, a park ranger deeply connected to nature, was known for her dedication to conservation and her passion for the outdoors. Melissa is a former school teacher and an avid outdoor enthusiast. The pair began their ascent in the early morning of April 25th. The weather at that time was clear but cold, with temperatures hovering around 10 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 12 degrees Celsius. While visibility was good, the mountain's wind chill and icy terrain added to the challenge. The forecast warned of incoming high winds later in the day, a factor every climber must weigh against their progress. Reaching the base of the route required crossing a glacier riddled with hidden crevices. Every step demanded caution, as the risk of falling into one of these icy voids was present. The team roped together for safety, carefully probing the snow with poles as they advanced. After hours of trekking, they reached the start of the route. With the first ray of sunlight hitting the mountain, they paused to check their gear, share a quick snack, and plan their ascent. Every piece of equipment was checked and rechecked. For climbers, preparation is essential, not just for success, but for survival. On a route as difficult as the escalator, trust in your partner and your gear is paramount. The escalator route is a climber's dream and nightmare. A steep ice climb broken by mixed sections of rock and snow. It requires constant focus and precision, as any misstep can lead to catastrophic consequences. Robbie, taking on the role of lead climber, methodically navigated the icy terrain. Every step involved driving her crampons into the ice and securing the rope with ice screws. Behind her, Melissa worked in rhythm, secured Robbie, and prepared for the next pitch. Climbing is as much about trust as it is about skill. Robbie and Melissa communicated clearly, calling out commands and checking on each other's safety at every stage. On routes like the escalator, every climber knows the stakes are high and no detail can be overlooked. By mid-morning, they had reached the upper section of the escalator. This part of the route is notorious for its difficulty, a narrow gully with steep, unstable ice and sections of brittle rock. Every moment demanded precise balance and strength, as the icy surface provided little margin for error. While conditions remained stable early on, winds began to intensify as they climbed higher. Gusts up to 40 miles per hour, or 64 kilometers per hour, swept across the exposed face of the mountain, creating an additional challenge for the climbers as they approached a critical section of the route. At approximately 1 p.m., as the pair approached one of the final pitches, disaster struck. Robbie, who was leading the climb, suddenly fell, dragging Melissa with her. The exact cause of the fall remains unknown. Climbing accidents can be caused by a number of factors, anything from a foothold breaking loose to an ice screw failing under the strain, or even a misstep in the challenging conditions. In this case, the cause is uncertain, but the result was nonetheless catastrophic. The pair fell approximately 1,000 feet down the steep, icy face of Mount Johnson. While they were roped together, a standard safety measure, the force of the fall overwhelmed the anchors they had placed, leaving little chance for stopping their descent. While Robbie tragically died upon impact, Melissa survived with serious injuries. Melissa was fortunate that another climbing team was nearby, saw the accident, and rushed to help. They descended to the fallen climbers, confirming that Robbie had died from her injuries. They promptly notified the Alaska Regional Communication Center, stabilized Melissa, built a snow cave to provide shelter through the freezing night, and waited for rescue. At first light, Denali National Park's elite rescue team launched a high-risk mission to the site. A ranger was lowered via a long line to stabilize the injured climber before she was airlifted to safety. She was then flown back to Talkeetna and then to an Anchorage hospital for emergency treatment of severe traumatic injuries. The swift response of the climbing team and the park's rescuers was critical in saving Melissa's life, even as she faced a long road to recovery. Due to the weather getting worse, it wasn't until 2 days later, on April 27th, that Robbie's body was recovered. Robbie Meckes was remembered as a park ranger who dedicated her life to protecting nature and exploring its boundaries. Her death was a devastating loss to the climbing community and the many colleagues and friends she had inspired. For Robbie and climbers like them, the mountains are more than a challenge. They are a place of deep connection and purpose. This tragedy underscores the risk climbers face in pursuit of their passion, but also highlights the enduring spirit of exploration and resilience. The escalator route remains a test of human skill and endurance, its icy face forever etched with stories and triumph and loss. For those who climb, the risk is part of the pursuit, a humbling reminder that the mountains hold the final word. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my video. If you like to listen to videos like this, I will be consistently uploading more, and I would really appreciate it if you can like this video and subscribe to my channel. Again, thank you, and I wish you all the good things this world has to offer.